it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be testing out the new Naughty Nudes palette by Huda Beauty. So I purchased this on release day from Sephora, which this palette retails for $67, and I bought it during the VIB Rouge sale, so I saved 20% off of it, making it $55. And honestly, the main reason why I bought this is because I wanted to test this shade right here called Slippery. It intrigued me that much because I have these colors in my eyeshadow palette collection, and I have them in the Huda Beauty line. So I wanted to kind of show you what I have and see if there's any similarities between palettes. So this is the Desert Dusk next to the New Nudes, and I do see a couple of colors, but this one's not really that similar. Then we have the Rose Gold Remastered. Again, a few possible overlaps, but this one's still pretty different. Now, there are some palettes that I will definitely tell you are definitely pretty close. Then we have the Mercury and Retrograde palette, which looks like this. This is one of my favorites by Huda Beauty. Some similarities in some of the pinky shades, but enough of a difference. Now here's where I think we're gonna get very similar. This is the new Nudes palette, which is one of my favorite nude palettes. Oh yes, there's definite overlap between those. So if you have the new Nudes, you probably don't need this one. The Naughty Nude does scream a little bit more richness, but if you have like the Nude Rich palette, because this is the only one I bought out of the new Nudes mini because I had the big one, there's definitely quite a bit of overlap. This one has even a little bit more depth than the Naughty Nudes. And I also wanted to look at it next to the two of my Haze palettes. So this is the Sand Haze. Yep, there's some overlap. And the Purple Haze. There's maybe one shade that overlaps, so not too bad. But as I said, I do love Huda Beauty's eyeshadow formula. I love to support women-owned beauty brands. And again, Huda is a person of color, so that is definitely something important to myself personally that I do like to support. She is of Middle Eastern descent. So that's what the palette looks like. And we're gonna go ahead and start by swatching it. And this is all live swatches because, as I said, I couldn't wait to do this. So we've got Filthy, Passion, which I really like that shade. It's not as shimmery as I thought it would be, but it's pretty. Shameless, and Please Me. I'm a terrible swatcher, y'all. I will say that till my dying breath. I'm just not good at it, but to me, swatches aren't everything either. A swatch will tell you some, but a swatch won't tell you all about an eyeshadow. I have a lot of eyeshadows that swatch like crap and look beautiful on the eyes. Then we have Hypnotic, Hard, Untamed. I love that color. Love that color. Irresistible. That's pretty. Okay. Then we have Flower Power, Rough, Spicy, Arouse. We're gonna save Slippery for last. I like that color. Then we have Tantric, Naughty, Provocative, Desire, and Juicy. So, all in all, not a bad palette. Let me see if I can wipe away some of these swatches. This is just like the e.l.f. version of a makeup eraser. I like to have these around so that way I'm not going through as many makeup wipes. Okay, so now we're gonna touch Slippery. Oh, it's kind of slimy and shiny. Okay. So I can see that it would kind of give you a little bit of a gloss effect on the eye. Very mirrored and reflective. Now I'm gonna leave that there and let it kind of see if it dries down. But you can kind of see once you swatch it, the pearls inside get a little bit messy. But again, that doesn't bother me. I am known to buy a palette for one shade. I mean, it's just something I do. I don't typically regret it. And again, as I said, I love Huda Beauty's eyeshadow formula. So I can't wait to try it, because typically, like with her nude palettes and stuff like that, they work on my skin tone. And sometimes, and I'm just a true medium, that a lot of times there's some nude shadows, eyeshadow palettes, that there's a lot of colors that don't work on me. So, you know, I like to support whenever I can. So I think what I want to start with is I think I want to keep this more in that red kind of range. So I think we're going to start with the shade Filthy, which is like a really good pinky tone nude. This is the BK Beauty 201. Not a lot of fallout, good color payoff. It's like a dirty mauve is the best way to describe it, which is a kind of a color that I like to use. I tend to like pinky tone nudes on myself personally, rather than straight up browns. I feel like they work with my skin tone better. And even if they don't, to me they have more of a, like, I don't know. There's something about like a deep rusty red and stuff like that that is just appealing to me. Okay, that's all blended out. It looks good. So I think what we're gonna go into next is we're gonna go into Untamed, which is right here. And I could do swatch comparisons, but again, I think if you're buying this palette, you're gonna buy it because you like Huda and you like the color story. And that's part of the reason I'm just like, well, if you've got this or this, you really don't need this one. But if you want it, then buy it. I am of that mindset that if you like something, then you should buy it, not if you can afford it. Because I'm not going to be able to talk you in or out of purchasing what you want to. And that's how I am in my life in general. You know what I mean? Like, if I like something, I like it. It's not going to be something that goes on so well. Can you see? There's not really any patchiness at all with that. Beautiful color. But I can also see myself getting a lot of use out of this, because this, again, is a color scheme and story that I personally really like on my skin tone. The plummy red, almost kind of purpley nudes. Which, I mean, I don't say that this is like screaming nudes, but I do love the colors. Next, I'm going to take, this is the Rephr 01 brush, and we're going to go into the shade Spicy. Picks up beautifully on the brush. And I'm just keeping that towards the outer edge. And as I've said before, I do the same eye look over and over because it's what works on my face. You know, 37 years old, I know by this point what eye shape works best on me. I really like the depth of this look. I'm loving, honestly, how this is coming out. I think it looks really, really pretty. Okay, so I think what I want to apply on the eyes, that does dry down though. So that's nice. I think what I want to do is I'm gonna use some glitter glue. Where's my glitter glue? Right here. And we're gonna apply some shimmer to the lid. Now the marbly shades I could take or leave. Those aren't, that kind of formula is honestly not one of my favorites to work with. They're pretty, I just don't, I prefer something with a little bit more oomph when it comes to a shimmer, honestly. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna go into is Irresistible. This shade right here to keep it really kind of pinky tone nude. Oh, that's pretty. And it picks up nice on the brush, which is again something important to me because I can use my fingers to apply a shimmer. I just prefer not to because I have little chubby, stubby, little fat fingers. Because like my hands are really tiny, like in length, but in width, like I have stubby fingers, but I have stubby toes too. I have like a size 5 shoe size, but I have to buy a wide width or buy a bigger size because I have duck feet, just so you know. And my hands are the same kind of way. That looks so pretty though. Look how pretty that looks. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna take the brush and I'm gonna go into that slippery shade just a little bit and kind of tap a little bit over the top. Okay, yeah, that gives just a little bit more shine and shimmer. Okay. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face, and then we'll come back and do our lower lash lines and talk, or lash line, not lash lines, and talk about my thoughts on this palette. Okay, so I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used my Gucci bronzer in the shade 2. Love this bronzer. I used the Moon Prism palette and from Lunar Beauty in the shade Spacey as my blush. The Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Glow as my highlight. And then I am testing out a new foundation in case you're wondering, which is the Guerlain Le Essentials foundation. I really like how this looks. And then on lips, I have a combination of the Juvia's Place So Rare lip liner and the Muted lipstick. Heather Austin raved about these and was like, so I was like, I need to try them. And then for gloss, I have the Celine Gloss by Lunar Beauty. And then on my eyes, I did tightline the waterline with Charmer by ColourPop. So now we're gonna go ahead and dig back in and finish out our eyes. So I'm gonna grab, this is a ColourPop E21. And I'm gonna go into the shade Naughty, which is more of the rust brown color, to apply underneath my eyes. And I barely put any product on here because I didn't want a whole lot of fallout, which I'm not sure if that's what would happen. But, you know, rather be apply less and build it up than apply too much and end up looking terrible. Okay, that looks really pretty. I'm gonna grab a BK Beauty 202 brush and I'm gonna dip into the shade Rough right here, which is just a good nude shade, and really use that to blend out my lower lash line. Oh yeah, that looks really pretty. And see, this kind of color story really makes, or at least in my eyes, makes my eye color pop. I have an unusual shade of hazel, so like right now they look super green to me. So I always enjoy an eyeshadow look like that. Okay, now I'm gonna grab, this is the Rephr 03 brush, tiny little pencil brush. I have the other one too. So I think I'm gonna go into the shade Tantric right here. And we're gonna apply that. Look how pretty that looks. In our inner corner. And see, I love these two, and this one's even smaller because this is from the new Christmas set my husband bought for me. But I love a good tight, almost tight lined inner corner. I think see how much impact that brings? Love that. Let's spray it. But yeah, I mean, love how that looks. Take just a tiny little bit right under the brow bone. Looks really, really pretty. Add a bit of lower lash mascara. Let me blend out my blush a little bit. I was looking a little heavy, but that's okay. This is the Wander Beauty Mile High Club mascara. And we can start talking about the palette. Okay, so for the Naughty Nude palette by Huda Beauty, do you need it? Probably not. If you're anything like me and have a ton of eyeshadows in your collection, this is probably something that has been done a million times before. I like the palette. I think the palette is beautiful. I love the look that I was able to create with it, and I will see this as something that I would use on the regular, especially on days that I don't always have to film. This is the kind of look that I tend to go for. This is a quintessential Betsy look. So I really do like this palette. But if you have the new nudes, or if you own the Nude Rich, you probably don't need this. I mean, unless you just want to have it. And that's the thing about whenever I talk about videos and talk about videos in general, or recording in general, you don't need any of this stuff. It's up to you if you want it, if you like it enough. I want to show you how it applies, tell you my thoughts on it, but in the end, it's up to you and your bank account. I am happy that I purchased it. I really like the colors. I like Huda Beauty's eyeshadow formula. I haven't had a whole lot of issues with it. So that is my opinion on it. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is typically every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But we have been inundated by new releases, so I've been posting a whole lot more. But I guess that's it, so we'll see y'all later. Bye.